It's time to hit the track as we embark round. Welcome to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone.
Good evening, race fans, and how is everybody on this fine Thursday evening? I'm Urban Pirate, this is Black Flag Racing TV, and we are live, Season 5, round number 1. Can't believe we're Season 5 already, of Smoking Pirellis, Thursday night Tier 1. We've got a few new faces on track this evening. First thing first, though, shall we have a look at who won Season 4? I think we bloody should. So, Season 4 finished a little bit like this. Your top 3, Rapid F1 is your driver's champion for Aston Martin, 402 points. And my God, was he a Rapid F1 driver or what? Yeah, very, very quick last season, deserved that championship. Nat Packard comes in close second in the McLaren, 382 points. And Tom Go Prof with that massive resurgence at the end of the season. And anyone that watched it, I mean, you watch from beginning to end, you absolutely just... the last few races was so quick. 263 points for him. He comes in third place. Constructors' Championship was Rapid F1 and Zachik with 520 points. So that moves on now to this season. 10 races, of course. First race here at Imola this evening. And these are your teams for AMG Petronas Mercedes. We've got Rapid F1, the current champion, and Super Calgon. For Alpine, we've got Jay Hartnell and Tyler. For the Haas F1 team, it's Nick and the runner-up last season, Nat Backers. AlphaTauri will be a new driver, Komzar, and Nick LUFC. Not seen him either, I don't think. More since Aston Martin's Jinxie and Big Balls. Big Balls back for another season, of course. Red Bull Racing with Rose and Stomper. A couple of new names in there. McLaren, Wasted and Tom Go Prof. Be interesting to see what sort of performance Tom Go Prof gets early on this season. We'll see though. Williams Racing will be TRB Austin and Spillage. Another couple of new names there. Tony and Binks. I'm going to call him Binks. For Alfa Romeo Racing. And finally, last but not least, Ferrari is Jesper with a to be confirmed. Don't know who Jesper's opponent, teammate will be. 10 races, of course, starts here this evening at Imola. Then we move on to the Hungaro Ring. Then to Zandvoort in the Netherlands, followed by the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It'd be mental, wouldn't it, Daniel? Another rainy day. Hate it when it rains. Hate it. No, they are very quick, Daniel. You're right. Then we move on to, after Austria, where are we? Albert Park in Australia. China for the first sprint race of the season. Then from China, we move to Singapore. That's your night race there. Then to one of the best racetracks in the world, Interlagos, Brazil. Ironically, the same as Imola, another anti-clockwise track. Then it's Bahrain before we finish the season in Portugal. That is a track I'm really looking forward to because it's new to the F1 calendar. We don't see it much. But that is your lineup for this season. Hopefully it will stay that way for the season. Drivers to watch out for. Well, obviously, you've got the reigning champion, Rapid F1. Definitely got to watch out for him. Tongo Prof, big resurgence at the end of the season to get himself into third. Certainly got to look out for Tongo Prof, as well as Nat Packers. Very good run towards the end of the season and just coming in second, but picked up most of the points haul for the McLaren team last year. So certainly one to watch out for there. Super Calgon. Funny one, Super Calgon, because I've seen him put in some crazy laps and then do very little at all. So we'll see. I think it's going to be about not just pace, but about consistency this season. Obviously, really good to see what the new guys have got to offer. Jesper. I haven't seen Jesper before. Comzar, Nick, LUFC, I think. Spillage, Austin, Stomper, Rose, all new names to the grid. So we'll see how they get on. Well, I think we've got a couple of coverers covering 4 people today. But we've got Dusty Fake and Rose in the Red Bull, and I'm assuming they are covering for the actual drivers. Still waiting to see who is going to be in the alternative Ferrari. That may be announced this evening, or we may have to wait a little bit to watch. So Rose is one to watch, eh? Keep an eye out for Rose in the Red Bull. Although, according to this, it's Dusty Fakes and Rose. Could be Rose, yeah. I will learn who is who. Teddy Henke in the Alpine, that would be... I'm assuming that's the good stuff. It can't be Jay Hartnell, surely. Yes, Teddy Henke is either Tyler's new name or what's the word? Reserve driver. Right, everyone is starting to check in. You know who's who. Let's get cracking. So, looking forward to this race, actually. Been looking forward to Season 5 getting started. It is 2023. This is the first Thursday night Tier 1 race of the year here at Smoky Pirellis F1, but it's also the first race of Round 5. Season 5, should I say. Now, will it be an immediate battle between the old guard, those that we're expecting to see do well, or will some of the new runners come in and make a difference? Looking at the runners and riders, I'm trying to see if there's anyone new that I haven't before we click through. We've got Moikuli in the Ferrari. I'm going to say everything as best as I can. If I get it wrong, oh well. I mean, to be fair, Zachique had to correct me several times before I got his name right. So, it's tough. If you don't like it, correct me or suck it up. So, straight into qualifying. And then we have got, and it's a short qualifying today. So, nothing too crazy. But, really looking forward to this race because Imola is a very, very fast track. Turn 18 is usually where you see most of the overtakes. Two stop, probably, I think it depends really. I think obviously the safety car is going to be a big factor here. One stop you're going to be looking at mediums and hard tyres, somewhere around probably that 13 or 14 to change. If you are going for the sort of balls out strategy, it's a two stop, but you're going to have to absolutely melt it on the go for soft medium, or soft medium soft, or some combination of those involving some soft compound tyres. But obviously, first things first, we need to get some qualifying on the board, and all we really need is that's not what we need. Yeah, let's put that up on the track map. There we go. Just keep an eye on what's occurring. So we've got all the runners just waiting for someone to... Who's going to be first to jump? Who's going to be first to put some laps down? We were talking about this last season, and I talk about it quite a lot, is the necessity to put a banker lap in. There are some drivers who can go out there So Tony and Moikuli. Moikuli, is that Moikuli? Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it? Yeah, I think it's quite important to put banker lap in, and I talk about it quite a lot. Yeah, there are some drivers who can go out there, put one lap in and absolutely melt it. There's absolutely no two ways about that. It can be done. However, and I stress this big time, it only takes a yellow flag or a problem on track or a mistake or something going on ahead of you that is out of your control to prevent you from getting that super quick lap. So your best bet is to just put in a banker lap, and then you've got nothing to worry about. Then you know that whatever happens, even if you can't put in the fastest lap you can do, at least you put something on the board. But we'll see how it pans out. At the moment, Joe Lance out on track in the Alpha Tauri, Nick in the Haas, Wasted is in the McLaren. He's out on track, as is Teddy Henke in the Alpine. I don't know why I thought it was something else. And Austin in that. Sorry, my sound went all funny then. You hear me all right? Yeah, it's working. Don't know what happened there. It went all crackly in my ear and made me assume that things had gone wrong. Tom Go Prof has already disappeared. Now, hopefully, that's not a terminal issue and we do see him back. But at the moment, no Tom Go Prof in the lobby. And that's a big blow for a driver that got himself to the top 3 last season. So pretty much everyone out on track now. We're going to start to see some times jumping in. Now, who do I want to go on board? I want to go on board with somebody and do a fast lap. Where's that McLaren? Let's go on with Wasted in the McLaren. So here we go, on board. So here, this is the fastest straight. This is where your DRS zone is. Heading down towards turn 1 on that power. And it is a very fast, frenetic racetrack this. Get over to this right hand side. Get it turned in only down to 5th gear. You're not dropping all the way down the gears because you're powering back up through the succession of corners. Left, right. You've got this little left hand turn here again. No real drop in gear until you get into the right hander. And then already back on the power. Swinging it round. Big turn there. That's probably the second biggest braking zone on the racetrack. Everything else is just fully flat out. It's designed to drive Ferraris around it. It is named after Enzo and Dino Ferrari. You would expect that this racetrack would be suitable to a Ferrari around it. But you just never know who's going to perform best. Into sector 2 we go. There is a yellow flag up ahead. Just got to be careful. Doesn't look like anyone's permanently stricken. Heading down towards the final couple of corners through that DRS detection zone, of course, which is just there. Then left-hander on the power again, up to 4th gear, and then that is flat all the way past your pit entrance, which is just on the right-hand side. Nice, easy pit entrance here. Kind of like Canada, where you actually in Canada it's a little bit tricky, isn't it? Because you've got really big braking zone, but it's right there. No real twist and turns. There you go. There's a lap for you. So far it is Tony on pole position with a 1:15.9. That's a really good start. 1:15.9 in that Alfa Romeo. Joe Lancer in the Alpha Tauri. 1:16.0 just outside that time. Cameron Poulter. Just a 1:16.1, so not too far off in that Aston Martin. Teddy Henke in the Alpine, 1:16.8, 7/10 is the difference there. Then we've got TRB Austin, that is a 1:16.9, so only literally a couple of hundredths. As we see Rose, and Rose already tipped. That was Daniel Godfrey that tipped Rose there with a 1:59.72. So only 6/100ths of a second outside that pole position time. You binned it one straight away. You didn't even do a warm-up lap time. How did you manage that? So eager to get out there and put a lap time, and you binned it. And you're going to have to start at the back, man. You need to hope one or two others bin it, and then you don't have to start at the back. You probably will anyway. So you got your work cut out today, mate. I'm sorry, mate. You can hear my daughter in the background. She's counting how many cars Tom's going to have to pass if he wants to win this race. So there we go. Rapid F1 demonstrating why he is the current reigning champion with a 1:15.6 straight off the bat in that Mercedes-Benz. And for those fans of Mercedes, it'll be good to see. You'll be happy to see that car on the front of the grid again. So 1:15.6 for Rapid F1 alongside Tony on row 1. Row 2 at the moment is Rose with a 15.9. Jojo Lancer alongside row 3. Cameron Poulter, who's on another outlap, looking to put another lap in with another newcomer, Komza for AlphaTauri. That's row 3. Row 4 is going to be Teddy Henke with TRB Austin. Row 5, Spillage. Alongside Wasted. I suppose if it's spilled, it is Wasted, isn't it? Jesper is on row 6, got Nick alongside. Still waiting for Super Calgon, Binks, Jay Hartnell, Big Balls, Nat Packers, Mulikuli, Tom Grandprof and Dusty Fakes. Tom Grandprof will not be participating because he decided that he would much rather start from the back of the pack than do some qualifying today and bin his car. So lots of repairing for that. Now Super Calgon has a history of going out late and putting in semi-decent times. But, as I said, it's not always the best idea. This time, however, Super Calgon is out a little bit earlier. I think the last race, Super Calgon came out like with a couple of minutes to go and literally had one hot lap. You'll note the distinctive sound of the vape in the background. It's because I'm giving up smoking. So yeah, I was going to say trying, but I am actually giving up and going full vape. So if I just start randomly shouting, it's because the cravings have kicked in, and yeah, for whatever reason, I'm going to put something in the jaw. So nothing changed out for Rapid F1 is still your pole sitter. KVI Tony, newcomer in that Alfa Romeo, just three tenths slower. So plenty of time in the bin for Tony. It's just a few. That is just improving one corner, 2 corners. And that will make all the difference. And Rapid F1 will suddenly see someone else crawling up. However, Dusty Fakes in the Red Bull racing car. That's a 1:15.8. That's 10th quicker than Tony and 2 tenths slower than Rapid F1. So Tony moves down to row number 2 alongside Rose. Anyone else put in a lap yet? Still waiting for Super Calgon, Big Balls, Nat Packers and Moikuli to put in their first qualifying lap. Tom Grandprof, of course, is picking up a piece of carbon fibre out of the wall and head in hands wishing he'd had a little bit more time to practice. So from what we know so far, because Super Calgon, Big Balls, Nat Packers and Moikuli have not put in a lap, we've got Nick. Oh, there we go. Nat Packers, the 1:26.9. That is not a good lap from Nat Packers, especially considering that she was a second in the championship last season for McLaren. So that's what I mean about banker lap. Now, if that had been her only lap or late on in the session, it would have been all for naught. So that's why you go in and put a decent banker lap in. Even if you're just off the pace a little bit. So still Rapid F1, Dusty Fakes on pole position. Tony and Jojo Lancer on row 2. Rose, Cameron Poulter on row number 3. Binks and Komza on row 4. Teddy Henke and Wasted on row 5. Jay Hartnell, Super Calgon, row 6 of Super Calgon comes in with 1:16.9. Jesper and Spillage on row 7, row 8 even. I'm getting lost now. Who's that just jumped inside? Someone just started a party. I thought I'd put myself on there, Do Not Disturb. I did put myself on Do Not Disturb. I shouldn't be getting those messages. Who knows? Who knows why? Then we've got Spillage, Nick X, Big Balls, still not set a lap, and neither has Muy Cully. And I am going to start to insist that if anybody puts a name on any game that's going to be streamed, it has to be easily pronounceable, and not have too many like I's and V's and Z's and shizzle in it. Purely because I'm too lazy to learn how to say things properly. But no change. Well, there is a little bit of a change. We've got 2 Red Bulls in the front 3 as Rose puts themselves up into 2nd. Dusty Fakes down out of the front row, down to 3rd. That pushes Tony down to 4th place. Has not been able to improve on that early pole position time of a 1:59. But Rapid F1 still the quickest person on that racetrack. Nat Packer's much improved lap there onto row number 3 with a 1:15.9. So at the moment there's just 0.3 of a second separate Rapid F1 on pole position and J. Doe Lancer in 6th place. Cameron Bolter currently in the pits, currently sitting in 7th place on row 4, 1:16.1. Binks right at 1:16.3 alongside row 5 is Comsar with TRB Austin. Moikulli does finally put in a lap, and that's a 1:16.7. That's good for 6th on the 6th row with Teddy Henke. Wasted on row 7 with Jay Hartnell. You got Tom, the other Tom. That's not Doggo Profits, average Tom. How you doing, buddy? Are you in the Porsche Cup this weekend? I know you're racing tomorrow in the F1, the other F1 thingy, aren't you? So I'll see you then. But got a Porsche Cup on the weekend as well, haven't we? Certainly looking forward to that. And if anyone's got anything they want to do late at night, over the weekend, it is the qualifiers for the GT Champions Porsche Cup over the weekend, which I'll be broadcasting for your viewing pleasure. That's over on Gran Turismo 7. But it doesn't matter what it's on, because you can watch it all up here. And my friend Tom, who's just popped up on the stream, everyone wave to Tom. He will be racing in that. You can also catch him in action tomorrow for the Euro Trips Black Flag F1 tournament, which will be live here. Are you not engagement party? Okay. So no F1 for you tomorrow. So we won't see him in F1 tomorrow. We'll see whoever sits in his seat or keeps his seat warm for him. But you will see him on Saturday night in the qualifiers for the Porsche Cup. We do actually have another Black Flag member racing in that as well. So good luck to Old Man Jay in that as well. But you can catch it on Black Flag Racing. We'll talk you through it. So 4 minutes till the end of qualifying. This is when it generally gets quite quiet. A couple of people on track on an outlap, but about a minute's time we're going to see loads of action as people start scrambling out the pits, trying to put in their final qualifying time. But talking of qualifying time, the reigning champion Rapid F1 still the man to beat, 1:15.6. That was the lap. That's what you've got to beat, and if you're going to do it, it's the champion's time you've got to beat to get yourself on pole. Good to see a couple of new names there up in the top 3 though. We've got Rose, Dusty Fakes, Tony, all quite new to this tier 1. To see them up there is very good. Nat Packers, last season's runner-up in 5th place on row 3. JJ Lance, obviously returning favourites. Cameron Poulter as well. Binks, we saw Binks racing, I think as a reserve towards the end of last season. Good performance from them, to be fair, and they're up in 8th place. Comsar, first appearance, certainly since I've been broadcasting them on a Thursday. TRB Austin, seen them before, and they are obviously back again. Moikulli on an outlap now in the Fezzer. And bearing in mind it's a Ferrari track, it's a bit embarrassing not to have 2 Ferraris in the top 3 here. This racetrack is literally owned by and named after Dino and Enzo Ferrari. Teddy Henke, he's in 12th place, Wasted just behind him. Big Ball still yet not set a qualifying time. And I will point out that the absence of, from last season, Big Balls' brother, Polishmy, Polish My Balls not competing this year in Tier 1. But just by virtue of the big smile upon my daughter's face when she heard me screaming at the TV last season, Polish My Balls, I wish him all the best. I suppose it's only possible they may have changed their name to something a little less rude. No, I don't give a shit, but you know, it is what it is. But Rapid F1 is still the man to beat. Rapid F1 looks like it's about to come out and set qualifying lap, or another qualifying lap, see if they can beat that 15.6. As Rose goes very, very close, just 19 thousandths of a second slower than Rapid F1's time. And we've got the top 6 all sub 1:16. Very, very close in terms of time. Literally 2 seconds separates Rapid F1 in first and Nick in 18th. Tom Go Prof, of course, didn't set time because he binned his car somewhere between leaving the pits and starting the hot lap. Don't know how far around it was. I didn't even get a chance to see where Tom Go Prof was before he blinked out and went for an early bath. But I suppose it did give him 18 minutes to watch other people racing around this track. So can anyone improve on that time? We're going to have a big number out there. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2. Who's that's stricken? That looks to me like one of the Ferraris. It is. It's Jesper going very slowly on that right-hand side. Now, is that because there are a lot of other cars going a lot faster, or is there some... It does look like a lot of scrapes on the front wing there. It looks like Jesper spent some time on that grass, just slowing down to let another car through. Then we'll get up to speed. So, into Sector 3. Hopefully that hasn't affected anybody's time too much. And a new fastest lap. And the champion is moved off the front row. It is KVI Tony with a 1:15.5 in the Alfa Romeo that goes to the top of the tree. Nat Packer's joining him on that front row with a 1:15.5.97. But what a time that was by Tony. Absolutely blistering time. A tenth and a half quicker, or 10th quicker than Rapid F1, who's outsetting a time now. Can Rapid F1 beat that? Is there any more time in the champion's tank to improve on that 1:15.6? Rose also on a hot lap. There is cars going slowly again in Sector 2 and 3. I'm assuming they are getting out of the way for these quicker cars. Super Calgon is finished. Jesper Bros, he's finished as well. But that is Rose. Rose is done. 1:15.5. Not going to get better there. Rapid F1 does improve. A 1:15.4 from the champion puts him back on pole position for this first race here at Imola. Tony with that blistering time just relegated. An identical time of 15.503 for Tony with a 15.503 for Rose. That is identical. So I'm assuming the additional digits beyond that are the reason why Tony is ahead of Rose. How about that? Nat Packers with a 15.5. 15.6 for J. Joe Lancer. Dusty Fates 15.7. Binks with a 15.8. 15.9 for Cameron Poulter. So there we go. So we've got a 15.4 on pole and a 17.2 on 18th place. Still less than 2 seconds separates this field. Very, very quick. Very, very close. So it's going to be about how brave you are in turn 18. Do you have that additional speed in turn 18? Can you keep your car on the racetrack and not crash it? That's going to be key. Turn 1's always going to be a little bit tricky. You're coming at some serious pace. Dry race is useful. I know some people are looking for rain because it's been rain in Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday's race. But it's dry race. They love it when it's dry. To be fair, everyone's been pretty freaking rapid today, Nat. Everyone's been pretty rapid. Well, it's in his name, isn't it? So, I'm going to warn everybody now that's watching. I don't know what it is, but over the last couple of broadcasts I've done, probably the last 4 or 5, I've had a massive, massive commentator's curse. And when I cut to people, they tend to spin quite a lot. And I've got no apologies for it. Shit happens. Rapid F1 is your pole sitter. It is Tony, then Rose, then Nat Packer's just outside that top 3. That's your front row. Really looking forward to this race, and I apologise now if the commentator's curse strickens any of you this evening. I've taken quite a few people out. We did a race on GT7, and there is a very, very dodgy, as you race on GT7 will know about the chicane of death on Dragon Trail, and I literally wiped out 6 of the 15 riders by just flicking to them during the broadcast when they were coming up to that chicane of death. I killed 6 cars. It did kill a couple in F1 yesterday as well. Not yesterday. Where are we? We're Thursday. On Tuesday, when I did Late Night Racing's F1, yeah, I killed a couple of people in that as well. So, looking forward to this. Some lovely, jubbly racing. Been missed it, actually. It's been a very quiet Christmas. I did intend on doing more broadcasting than I did over Christmas, but I kind of just got quiet with the family thing and all that kind of thing, and sat down and did a few races myself, which I haven't done for ages. Didn't do very well, but did a few races myself. Did some really fun stuff, just some messing around bits and pieces, including messing around with some karts. So here we go, formation lap. We'll give a quick run through of the entire grid order. Rapid F1 will lead everybody out. KVI Tony for Alfa Romeo will be in second. There's Rose in the Red Bull. Identical time to Tony on the second row, ahead of Nat Packers, who has qualified, as I said, that is the best quali lap that they've ever done in their life. That quali lap, but I thought it was, bearing in mind they finished second in the championship last year, they can't all be that bad, surely. Maybe they just mean that. Joe Lancer for AlphaTauri, running in 5th place, with Dusty Fate just behind in the second Red Bull. Binks. That's the noise you make when you hit a chili fork and it in the Alfa Romeo in 7th. Cameron Poulter in the Aston Martin Cognizant 8th place. 9th on the grid will be Moy Cooley in the Fezzer, with Teddy Henke in the Alpine just behind in 10th place, nearly flying straight past. Teammate Jay Hartnell just behind in 11th, with Komzar in the AlphaTauri. That's Harry Potter spell, isn't it? Austin in the Williams Racing in 13th. Super Calgon in the other Mercedes in 14th place. Spillage in the second Williams in 15th. Jesper in the other Fezzer in 16th. 17th is Wasted in the lead McLaren. Nick X is 18th in the that's the Haas. Then we've got Big Balls in the second Aston Martin in 19th, and Tongo Prof, who binned that McLaren before they even got close to doing a hot lap, and almost binned it again on the formation lap. Well, for someone who finished 3rd in the championship, certainly looking to have a little smash up today. Very, very close that was. Yeah. What was that commentator's curse? So here we go, all getting lined up on the grid for this 32 laps around Imola. It's the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here in Italy. It is the first of 10 races we have for you over the next 10 weeks here with Smoking Pirellis. We will be away anytime. Now we are away, and we're away clean by the looks of it. We just see them pulling away now. Rapid F1 loses out to Tony from the start. Rapid F1 dropping through the order. Was there some contact? Rapid F1 is trying to stick with it into the first couple of corners. Rapid F1 loses the lead of this race to Tony. Tony takes the lead. Already half a second clear in the Alfa Romeo from Rose, who moves on. Spillage is our first retirement already. On lap 1, we have lost one driver. Sector 1, Spillage is out of this race. So Tony in the lead from Rose, rapid F1, losing a couple of places down to third. JJ Lancer is in fourth place. Let's have a quick look. Tyres, what is everybody using in terms of tyres? So strategy-wise, Tony has gone on the medium tyres, explains why. Was quick off the starts. Rose though makes a good move around rapid F1 on the hard tyres. Long sides. They're going to run long in the first stint. They're one stopping this. If you're going on the hards, you're committing to a one stop. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Obviously, your safety car comes in. It may change that strategy. But in the hope that there isn't a safety car, hard tyres says, I'm one stopping this race, boy. JJ Lancer on the mediums. The mediums gives you the opportunity to choose. I mean, you can choose anyway, but you can still one stop it, or you can two stop if the pace is quick enough, and that's obviously going to be the fastest lap of the race from your leader 1:23.1. Cameron Poulter in fifth place with Moikuli up to sixth place. There you go. There's your strategy. Medium, hard, medium is a one stop. Soft, medium, or medium, soft, medium, or any other variation of the three for your two stop. Just like I told yous. Dusty Fake in seventh place in the Red Bull with Teddy Henke just ahead on the hard compound tyres. Teddy Henke and Austin both running those hards, as well as Komzar. Jay Hartnell is in 11th, Super Calgon in 12th. Tom Go Prof already moved up to 13th place. Now bear in mind that he binned that car and didn't qualify, is already up from last position to 13th in just 2 laps. So watch this space. Nat Packers had an absolute nightmare. Wasted down to 14th. Nat Packers behind Wasted in 15th place. All the way down from starting in 4th on the grid. Big loser there. Does make the move around Wasted a little bit deep out of the corner, but makes that move stick. Is there another overtake here for Jesper? Maybe not. Jesper's a little bit further back. And that's the fastest lap for your leader. Opening up a gap of 0.6 of a second. So Wasted runs in 15th place. Jesper, that time doesn't look right. Looking at the interval there. Super Calgon into the pits. That's to repair some damage clearly. So there we go, timing sorted itself out a little bit there. So Jesper in 15th place behind Wasted. Then we've got Nick X half a second back. And then Super Calgon into the pit, or coming out of the pits now, as the Nick and Big Balls going through. Big Balls started on the soft compound tyres, as did Spillage. And it didn't work out too well for Spillage, because Spillaged into a wall. And we're losing Austin from this race. Can we see where Austin is on the racetrack? Looks to me that they are very, very stricken. Where is Biggs and Super Calgon? Can we see where Austin is stricken at all? It's actually round the corner from here, so let's go on board with Biggs, because we'll see. As we come round here, we will see, should be on that left-hand side. As they come round this left-hand here, we'll see a stricken Austin. Somewhere there, Austin stricken. Can't see them, but they're, but trust me, they're stricken. And it is the first safety car of the season, the first safety car of the race, and certainly not going to be the last. Was it a safety car or a VS? Oh, it's a virtual. It's a virtual, so it's not a real one. It's a virtual one. So we've had our first 2 retirements. We've had our first virtual safety car. We've had some fastest laps. We've had some crashes. We've also had our first penalty. JoJo Lancer, multiple warnings. It's not like you weren't fucking told, man. That's what I'm going to call that penalty, sir. You were already freaking told penalty. So let's have a quick run through of the order. And we'll also have a look at the big movers and shakers. So Tony up 1 place, started in second. Jumped rapid F1 up into first. On the medium compound tyre. Rose behind for Red Bull. Gained a place. Rapid F1 just behind in the Mercedes Petronas. 2 seconds. 2 seconds already off the pace of those two out in front. Dropped 2 places, but on the hard compound tyres. So we'll have the opportunity to come back at them. Obviously, we'll close up now under the VSC. We'll close up a little bit under the VSC, which is now finished, of course. Cameron Bolter in the Aston Martin is under pressure from Morikuli, who makes a move, and JJ Lancer, both making a move around Cameron Poulter, who drops to 6th place. Dusty Fakes, does Dusty Fakes looking to get involved in this battle now? Just behind, only 4 tenths back, looking to be closing all the time. Does this mean that Cameron Poulter's in trouble here? As we see Dusty Fakes closing the gap. We've already seen Morikuli. I'm going to struggle with that all season, right? So Chum to change his name, please. JJ Lancer go past Cameron Poulter, but now we've got Dusty Fakes having a go. Just holding out half a second, not getting quite close enough to make that big move. But remember, turn 18, that's where the big brass balls come out. And the little bit exploitative of track limits there with Cameron Poulter didn't look to have gained too much significant time as they come through this chicane and down towards the final 2 corners. Now, Dusty Fakes in the DRS, close enough under DRS for the protections on to pick them up, and boop, there they go, they get picked up. But won't matter for shit because there is no DRS. We're just after a VSC. Fastest lap there from Rose, as Morikuli with a 1:19.0 says, "You're not having it. It's mine, man. It's mine." Dusty Fakes not close enough. He's closing the gap, but not quite enough. As we see that DRS opening up there, letting them close up the gap. It's enough for that. Rapid F1, the reigning champion, is out of this race, and he is absolutely. I'll tell you what, mate, you cannot park that there. What a view that is. Let's go back and see if we can see a good onboard view. That is stricken. I can't park that there, mate. That is going to be safety car, definitely, I think, with the way that car's parked. Was that an SC or a VSC? That's definitely a full safety car. So we're going to see a few people diving into the pits. Jesper in, Big Balls in, Binks in. They're all going to make some changes to their car. Rose up into the lead of this race. And what a time to take the lead. You can just now relax a little bit on those areas. 1.1 seconds with the gap. See, that's going to be negated now by this safety car. But you can just relax a little bit and not put too much through those white-walled hard compound tyres in the Red Bull. Just look after them. You want to try and keep a bit of heat in the tyres, obviously. As we see Tony opting for the pit at this stage strategy. So, are we going to see a lot of people switching to a 2-stop strategy here? He already had his options open, to be fair. He was on the medium compound tyre. So, looking to change those out, put on another set of mediums and try and take them a little bit longer. Or do you go on the hard compound tyres and put yourself on the softs for your final stint? That's certainly a workable solution from this stage. Obviously depends on your pace, of course. JJ Lancer up to 2nd place. Well, I think we'll see now. I was going to say all the hard tyre runners staying out, but JJ Lancer's on those mediums. You will get to save a little bit of tyre here, but is it worth it at this stage? If you're on the softer compound tyre, not to just go in and change out for some fresh. I suppose it depends on your strategy. If you're prepared on going a little bit longer, maybe it is. So, big winners and losers. Let's start from the back of the pack and work our way forward. We lost Spillage really early on, and we lost Austin, and we've just lost the reigning champion, Rapid F1, who binned it into a wall and left the car in tatters. There is bits of carbon fibre and plastic and all sorts just literally everywhere. So he is out of this race. Super Calgon is at the back of the pack, 2.4 seconds back. Has lost 3 places to Binks. Binks has been in the pits, but 9 places down and 15 seconds back in the Alfa Romeo from Big Balls. The Big Dangly is 3.6 seconds down from Jesper, but 4 places gained for him. Jesper, 1.3 seconds behind Nick, 2 places gained. It's a good performance so far from Jesper in that Ferrari. Nick X in the Haas is 1.1 seconds down from Tom Go Prof, who is one of the biggest movers so far with 8 places gained. Nick has gained 5 places. You can see Jay Hartnell going into the pits, just moving down that order, going into the pits now. Left a bit late in the window. Surely if you're going in, you want to go in as early as possible in that safety car window. Tom Prof up to 11. That's 9 places gained for Tom Prof. So good start for him, bearing in mind that he binned it in qualifying, and was actually the first person of the season to bin a car. Congratulations on that accolade. Not one I'm sure you want to come up and collect anytime soon. Moikuli. Saw a brilliant overtake from them, 1.3 seconds. Currently the fastest lap holder, I think. Unless something's changed. I don't think that's changed because I think that was put in just before the safety car came out. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Has lost a place. Another big loser there, Tony. Has been in the pits though. We do have to bear in mind that some drivers have pitted, some haven't. Tony's one of those that has down 7 places, just half a second back from Wasted. Wasted up 9 places, good, solid gain there. But we'll have to pit at some stage. Nat Packers started to crawl back up towards the qualifying position of 4th in that Haas. So still some work to do, but 3 places dropped so far. Komza is in 6th place. Safety car coming in this lap, which is good. Everyone likes the safety car coming in. Komza in 6th place. Teddy Henke in 5th. Dusty Fakes 4th. Cameron Poulter 3rd. And let's go on board with Cameron Poulter just to see how quickly these guys get away. So we're going to see the safety car peel off to its right hand side as they come around this final left hand turn. And got to be so careful. And it's down to Rose. When Rose decides it's time to go, and off they go. They get their foot down. Do they catch anyone napping? Well, Jojo Lancer got caught napping a little bit by Cameron Poulter. For me, I think Cameron Poulter should have just stayed tucked in that slipstream and then maybe would have had a little bit more impetus at turn 1. But they are sort of supporting each other in these front 3, because if we look back, just a little bit of a gap starting to open up from them. But it is Rose from Jojo Lancer from Cameron Poulter. Dusty Fates in 4th place. Teddy Henke in 5th. Komza. Sorry. The silliest things really make me laugh. It's so childish. 6th place for Komza. Nat Packers 7th place. Down 3. Any chance of making a move? At the moment, everybody seems to just be holding in there. Wasted in 8th. Tony down in 9th. Has pit though. Mikuli in 10th place. And I want to have a quick look who hasn't stopped yet. So essentially the top 8 still need to stop. Rose in the lead of this race, of course. On the hard compound tyres, we've got JJ Lancer on those mediums. So your pit window for the mediums, if you're running a 1-stop, your pit window on those mediums is going to be somewhere around lap 13, lap 14, 15, that kind of area. Unless you've got that conservation out of the safety car, the virtual safety car, so maybe you can stretch it out to 16. But you don't want to be stretching out so far. You want to have as much grip as possible when you go on to the hard compound tyre. Cameron Poulter running 1.2 seconds back now, starting to lose out to those front 2. Has not pit yet. Wasted has not pit either, but is getting overtaken by Tony and Mike. Bit devastating now. Wasted moving down the order. Has Wasted got a problem? Because Wasted seems to be dropping through the order like a stone. As Tom go prof, big mover and shaker, and that's Nick going past. Wasted moving up to 11th place for Nick. Now we see Jesper getting on. Is Jesper going to make the move around Wasted? And these are all people that have stopped making a move on someone who's yet to get into the pits. And Jesper desperately looking for a way through. Bobbing and weaving side to side. Very, very wide. Coming out of there was Wasted to try and defend that. But Jesper just not close enough to capitalise at this stage. Jesper was on the hard white-walled compound tyres. And DRS now enabled. Is this going to be enough to get Jesper through? I think Jesper's a little bit too far back at this stage. But we'll see that wing open, or will we? We will not. Jesper not getting the benefit of it. Big Balls behind, making the move. And there's Big Balls up into 12th place. And Big Balls to make that move, I have to say. Jay Hartnell is 14th. Binks in 15th. Super Calgon makes washing machines last much, much longer in 16th. And Joe Lancer coming out of the pits, bear in mind, was first, now was second, now lost 17 seconds back. And that's the problem with hanging on during the safety car and going in just after the safety car, is you put yourself in a very, very odd position in that every car is going to come whizzing past you regardless of strategy, and particularly you have such an early safety car as well. So a lot of work now to do, excuse me, for JJ Lancer. So there is your leader, 1.8 seconds clear. It was called out to the end, was pointed out by Daniel Godfrey that Rose was one to watch. And Rose is out in the lead at the moment, 1.8 seconds almost in that Red Bull Racing motor car, and they're on the hard compound tyre. So they can stretch this out well into sort of laps 17, 18, 19. Maybe even longer if we get another safety car. So at the moment looking very, very good. Over Cameron Poulter. Cameron Poulter is in that Aston Martin Cognizant race car, holding off Dusty Fakes at the moment, 1.9 seconds behind the leader. Dusty Fakes is 7/10 back from Cameron Poulter. That's the view from behind. View from in front is not as pretty, and there's Teddy Henke. We've lost another driver from this race. Teddy Henke is out, and JJ Larson will go past him very soon. Will that bring about any sort of safety car? Doesn't look like it. It's the second one set too light. Teddy Henke now back behind JJ Lancer, so that is a race over for them. Nat Packers have made their way back up into 4th place. They do still need to stop, but looking much rosier than it was previously with 4th place now, where they qualified. But once they pit, things can go very horribly wrong because Tony's already been in, and Tony's just 1.3 seconds back. And we know the sort of lap times that Tony can chuck in. And let's have a quick look at those representative lap times. So fastest lap so far is with Mulcahy with a 1:19.0, but all very similar. There's not many. I mean, if you look at the fastest lap there with a 1:19.0 and the slowest lap, which to me looks like a 1:20.4, there's really nothing much in that. 1.4 seconds, I mean, look, you could say 1.4 seconds in F1's a million miles, but it's in terms of time, that's really not. If I was 1.4 seconds slower than some of the guys I race with, I'd be happy with that, because I'm generally 2 or 3 seconds off their pace at my best. So that's not shabby at all. To be sure. What else do we want to look at? The gap to the leader. Well, 28 seconds back for JJ Lancer. Penalties. 3-second penalty for Cameron Poulter. There is a 3-second penalty there for Nick, who at the moment will drop down behind Jesper. Maybe Jay Hartnell, if it stays as it is. 3-second penalty for JJ Lancer, who won't drop behind anybody because they are currently running 15.7 seconds behind at the very, very back of the pack. There we go. So everybody on the racetrack, bar 3 drivers, are on the hard compound tyre. Nick has been in the pits, is on the mediums. Dusty Fakes and Nat Packers have had those tyres on 13 laps they've been on. This is the point where you're going to start to see those medium tyres starting to drop off a little bit, not giving you the maximum performance you want to get out of them, and where you start thinking about when you're going to nip into the pits and change out for the hard compound tyres. Look, while you're getting the lap times, you're not going to want to do that, but you have to consider that at some stage you're going to need to think about when you're going to pit. Now, do you hang out now and hope for a safety car? That's the thing. You kind of, when it's your pit window, especially when a lot of people around you have already been in, you really kind of want to, you kind of want to see one of your opponents have a little smasheroonie or a little crash or a little kiss or something. Just something to bring out either a VSC or a real safety car. And it gives you the opportunity then to get a cheap pit stop over your teammates. And that really is what Nat Packers is looking for at the moment, is a cheap pit stop over Tony, who went in under normal circumstances. Dusty Fates as well. So, full run through, we've got Rose in the lead. That gap is now 3.3 seconds over Cameron Poulter, who, with their 3-second penalty, will not finish in the top 3 if it stays as it is. Although, bear in mind, the Dusty Fates and Nat Packers still need to go into the pits. Dusty Fates for Red Bull running in 3rd place. Just 4/10 half second back from Cameron Poulter in 2nd place. Open up a gap of 2.2 seconds from Nat Packers in the Haas. Then we've got the pole sitter. I say pole, he wasn't a pole sitter, he was 2nd place, front row sitter, I should say. KVI Tony, who is up into 5th place. Went very early. Into the pits under a safety car, but I think earlier than a one-stop strategy will allow. It may be that they can drag those hard tyres out a bit longer. But you're going to be, towards the end of the race, you're going to be on tyres that are very, very old and very, very temperamental. So I think you have to consider that. If it's a one-stop, of course, it may well be that they're going for a 2-stop and will be Cleopatra coming at you on soft tyres right at the end of the race. Fastest man on the racetrack at the moment, the fastest lap, of course, Moikuli in the Ferrari. 4/10 back from Tony, looking to be sticking with them at the moment. But here's the big mover and the big shaker. Tom go prof. Tom go smash in qualifying, and then Tom go fast in the race. And Tom go into top 10 in Tom go McLaren. And we've got another retirement. Is that another safety car? Is that the safety car that it is? That's the safety car that Dusty Fates and Nat Packers were hoping for. This is a big, big, big blow to those around them, because they're going to get a nice, cheap pit stop here. And I imagine we're going to see both Dusty Fates and Nat Packers just pulling off to the right-hand side here now into the pits and getting that nice, cheapo pit stop. Or are we? Abso-bloody-lutely. See, I'm good at this shit. I should do this on more often basis. Tony going in as well. I know Tony's going through. I thought Tony was following him in then. I thought it was mental. What is wrong with your mind brain? So everybody that hasn't pit is now in and getting that nice cheapo pit stop. So Tony into the lead of this race, tucking in behind the Aston Martin V8 for safety car purposes. Much prefer the AMG Mercedes, to be fair. Don't Aston Martin here, but I'll sod it. Do you know what? Aston, I do love you, and if you want to send me one, happily glad. But the AMG's prettier. Hint, hint, Mercedes. You heard that here. If there's one parked outside when I wake up in the morning, I will not complain. Moikuli up to 2nd place. One stop for them. In fact, everybody on the racetrack, other than Teddy Henke, Rapid F1, Austin and Spillage, have had a stop. Well, I suppose those 4 have also stopped, but they stopped permanently, as has Nick. So everyone has stopped. Nobody now on the soft compound tyre in this middle section of the race. We will see a few of them on the soft towards the end, or will we? I mean, there's some guys out there that have done 12, 11 laps. Big Balls and Binks have done 11 and 12 laps respectively on the hard tyre. Tony and Mukoli also 10 laps when they went in on the first virtual safety car and got rid of the medium size. So they're going to have to pit again, those guys, definitely. It may be for mediums, it may be that they can drag it out a bit and do sort of 6, maybe 7 laps on the soft compounds. But we'll see. So we're here lap 17. This is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at sunny Imola in Italy. Home of Enzo and Dino Ferrari, of course. It is round 1, season 5 of Smoking Pirellis F1 Thursday Tier 1 series. My God, that's unbelievable. It's the best of all this. All the other series are shit. This is the best one. And you can catch it live here every Thursday on Black Flag Racing TV. At the moment, this is where we stand. The reigning Smoky Pirellis champion, Rapid F1, did not finish after 5 laps of this race. More than that, wasn't it? Can't remember. But Rapid F1 did crash out in his Mercedes-Benz and is out of this race. Nil point for the pole sitter. Currently, though, and this has been one of the best drives of the season, to be fair, Tony got into the lead and really pretty much has kind of been there or thereabouts once the pit stop was out. In the lead of this race, lap 18 leads this race from more equally in the Ferrari. Big Balls in the Aston Martin rounds out the top 3. Jay Hartnell in the Alpine is at 4th place. Binks is in 5th, just ahead of Rose, who was leading this race at one stage and looked to be very, very racy in that Red Bull. But still, plenty to play for, because those cars in front, those front 4, 5 cars, potentially will need to pit again. Almost actually will need to pit again is the way I should put it. Cameron Bolter, safety car coming in this lap. So we go racing again. We'll have a quick run down to the top 10. 7th place, Dusty Fates in 8th. Nats Packers in 9th on the hard compound tyres. They can go to the end. JJ Lancer, 7 laps on those hard compound tyres. So we'll go on board with big balls of dangly. And we can see just ahead, we see the Ferrari of Moy Quilly, the Alfa Romeo of KVI Tony. And they're going to come round this left-hander. They've got one more turn to go round this next left-hander. And who will be brave? Tony decides when they go, and straight away catches them napping. Look at that gap already. And Moy Quilly just caught slipping. And he is about to lose this place. I think 2 big balls. How big are his balls? Not big enough is the answer to that question. They are tiny little balls. He didn't make that move. And he's got another opportunity now. Come on, prove me wrong. Show me the kahunas. The kahunas not getting demonstrated, but crawling all over the back of Moy Quilly, to be fair. And they're all on hard compound tyres out in front there. Jay Hartnell is 5/10 back. Binks is in 5th place, 4/10 back. So that's your kind of battle for your top 5. And we just see Rose making the move on Binks up into 5th. So that Red Bull is on the move. Now let's have a look at Jay Hartnell in front. That's the view from Jay Hartnell's car, and it is crawling all over the back of him, that Red Bull, like a bee drawn to a flower. Look at the neck of a bear drawn to the bee's honey, like a lion hunting a gazelle. I think some more comparison. Think of the word, the more comparisons, the descriptors. But all over, Rose is absolutely crawling on the back of the Alpine. Great exit there in that slipstream. Going to pull out, ready to make the move there side by side. And it's bye-bye Jay. And hello 4th for Rose up into 4th place. That's a good move there. Start chasing down those big balls. Just up ahead, 7/10 up ahead is those big balls. Right, let's give some love to the guys down the bottom. They're Super Calgon, looking after his washing machines back there with Komza on the medium tyres for the AlphaTauri team. Just 4/10 back from Wasted, who is wasted back there in the McLaren. Jesper 88 Russ, or is it 8 Bros? Either already. Running in 12th place in the Ferrari. Just behind Tom Go Prof. I remember Tom Go Crash, then Tom Go Fast, now Tom Go a bit slower again, and is running in 11th place in Nat McLaren. Just behind, of course, Nat Packers, who, to be fair, was chasing down, Tom Go Prof was chasing down Nat Packers at the end of last season for 2nd in the championship, and didn't quite get there. Tom Go 3rd, Tom No Go 2nd. So now Tom go behind Nat Packers and try and find a way through. And Rose go fast. 1:18.3 is the quickest lap there. And race control says DRS is enabled. Up ahead of Black Packers is Joe Lancer. 3 tenths behind Dusty Fakes, has just been making a move on Wasted up into 12th place. Dusty Fakes still ahead, and putting some pressure on the back of Binks, who's running on those hard compound tyres. 16 laps now on those hard compound tyres. Binks the only person on the racetrack who's had tyres on for that length of time. That shows some incredible commitment to some pieces of rubber. Jay Hartnell in 6th place, 13 laps on those tyres, just under a second behind Big Balls, who is absolutely on a charge, really looking to make some moves. Moves like Jagger up through order. 1.5 seconds back, 15 laps now, damage on those tyres, and you're going to start to see bits of blistering and graining, and particularly that inside, the inside left tyres taking that punishment around these fast left-hand corners. Cameron Bolter in the Aston Martin Cognizant is 1.5 seconds outside that top 3 on the medium compound tyres. Those tyres are relatively fresh, should be closing down that gap on mid-course, but he's not, as Binks makes the move around Jay Hartnell up into 6th position. There is Mulikuli up into 3rd in the Ferrari, just half a second back from Rosé, but on the hard compound tyres. So really, Rosé should be sticking with Tony and dropping Mulikuli behind, but not really happy that way. So we've got, how many retirements we've got? We've got 5 retirements from this race. We lost Spillage, we lost Austin, we lost the reigning champion, Rapid F1. That's a massive blow to his upcoming title hopes. Teddy Henke, the Christmas Blue, you love me, we love you. If you've never heard that song before, then that just sounds like I've gone mental, but it is a thing, it's a South Park thing. Is one of those we've lost. Then we've got Nick X04. Sure he wasn't born in 04. I suppose he could be racing in 04, yeah. Makes me feel old when I think 04 actually is old enough to be old enough to be alcohol. I've got children born after that. But yeah, I've got children born before that as well, though, to be fair. So there we go. They are your 5 runners we have lost. Tony, 1.4 seconds clear of Rosé at the moment. Running those hard compound tyres, has already taken 16 laps out. We're on lap 23 here of 32 at Emilia Romagna Grand Prix at the Enzo Dino Ferrari thingy. That was the best of you get out of me speaking Italian. It doesn't happen because I can't fucking do it. But there we go. So Tony is 1.1 second clear of Rosé in the Red Bull Racing livery. Muli Khalif in the Ferrari in 3rd. There's Cameron Poulter in 4th place with a 3-second penalty. And talking of penalties, there's one for Binks for multiple warnings. Big balls, 17 laps on those tyres now. At some stage, you've got to think about changing them, surely. They're not going to go another 9-10 laps without falling apart. So this is where the bravery part comes in. You come in now and put on some mediums and go to the end. Or do you trust the tyres? Those that have done 17, 18, 19 laps on their tyres, do you trust them at this stage now and hold out so you can do a final stint of sort of 6, maybe 7 laps on the soft compound tyre? Binks running in 6th place, 3 seconds back from Big Balls, but with JJ Lancer all over the back of them. But remember, these top 8 really, other than Rosé and Cameron Poulter, have only done 7 laps on their tyres. The top 8 are all have all been on those tyres for some time now, and have got to start thinking about when and if they've got to change them out. And I think they probably have. Tom Go Prof up to 9th. Tom starting to go fast again. Tom Go Crash. Tom Go Fast. Tom Go Faster. Tom Go Top 10. Tom ahead of Nat Packers. 1.6 seconds. A big loss for Nat Packers starting 4th on the grid, but can't get that Haas dialed in with any measure of consistency. Cameron Poulter, another warning there. I'm assuming that's for track limits again. As you saw Jesper going quite wide in that a couple of turns back. Voting in 11th place. Super Calgon is up from the final position up to 12th. 3/10 of a second back from Jesper. With Komzar all over the back of him. Now, is there a move on it for Komzar? Because into turn 1, Komzar is so close. And I think we're probably hoping to be a bit closer and make that move around this left-hand side, around this right-hand side. Just staying tucked in behind and making sure that the car's cool, of course, but using as much of the car in front to block out any air resistance as possible. Dusty Fakes is running in 14th place, 2.4 seconds back, and very wasted back there in 15th because you are 27 seconds off 14th place. Stay off the lead, you're miles. There is your race leader in the Alfa Romeo, and not got it all the way because Rose is on it like a car bonnet, crawling all over the back of Tony. Tony does not want to see that. There's the rear wing open. There's the slipstream. Here comes the Red Bull. I can't really close the gap though. I guarantee you that Tony is absolutely pummeling that ERS button like his life depends on it. Like it's a 15 quid hooker and it's done on time. That's how hard he's pounding it. Rose in second place, desperately trying to get that Red Bull through. Did close the gap up under slipstream with that bit of DRS, and are able to make a move now as they get even closer. While we lap 26 on 32. So if you are thinking about pitting and putting on soft compound tyres, the end of the next lap is when you really start thinking about doing that. You've got 6, maybe 7 laps of a perfecto mundo grip on the soft compound tyres. So with it being lap 26 now, end of this lap is when you really want to put them on, because it will give you that impetus. It may be that these guys on 19 laps, 20 laps, 21 laps, feel they can take their car to the end of this race. But it's going to make them vulnerable to those behind on slower compound tyres. And it might be worth just taking a little risk and giving yourself that opportunity. Because you never know. You never know. So it is Tony from Rose, from 4.4 seconds back. Cameron Poulter to Moy Cully. Big Balls up to 5th place with Binks in 6th. Jojo Lance in 7th. Tom Go Prof up another place gain up into 8th place with Jay Hartnell and Nat Packers rounding out that top 10. And then Jesper, Super Calgon, Dusty Fakes, who was so much further up the order early on, just falling away and dropping off into the distance. Komzar in the AlphaTauri, not holding on to the front as they were early on. He's now some way off, actually, to be fair. Half a second off but some way off the lead now. Jesper in 14th place and wasted 27. You heard it right here, folks. 27 seconds, 20 seconds back in 15th place. But there's your race leader still being hounded by Rose. Now we know Rose could potentially, with a bit of bravery and a little bit of luck, potentially take those tyres to the end. Looking to make the move into turn 1. Doesn't happen. Cameron Poulter retires from this race. And Cameron Poulter was running really well. Can we get a glimpse of the car before it disappears off the track? That's the question. Where is Cameron Poulter stricken? There. So in the pits. So he's retired into the pits from this race. That's another retirement. That's 6 retirements now out of the 20 runners this evening. But your leader not having fun out there at the moment. Well, maybe having fun. Maybe likes defending that much that they are having immense fun. But they are just half a second, not even that, clear of Rose at the moment, who is hounding them. Really wants to find a way through. But at the moment, that Alfa Romeo, 21 laps of the 28 laps we've already done have been on those hard compound tyres. And it looks to me like they are going to take these that have run sort of 21, 22, 23 laps on the hard compound tyres are going to take them to the end of this race. Because we're on lap 29 now of 32. No sign of anybody going in. I would love to see what kind of wear that they've got on those tyres. There is a problem in sector 2 and 3. That problem is now resolved. Was hoping that might be. That was a safety car. That really changes the complexion of this race. But at the moment, Tony really doing a great job to hold off the advances of Rose. Moy Cooley falling into that bit of no man's land now, 6 seconds off the front two. Not really any chance of catching them. But just built up a 1.8 second gap, 1.9 second gap from Fry Big Balls. Running in 4th place. Then we've got Tom Go Prof. Now remember Tom Go Prof. Tom crashed car on lap 1 of qualifying, and Tom had to go fast to get to where he is now, and he did, and he's up to 5th place, 7.3 seconds though clear behind Big Balls, only 8 tenths clear of Joe Lancer. Hoping that his medium tyres can start coming back to him and give him that grip. Joe Lancer with the highest runner with a penalty to serve. I think that's 6 seconds if I remember rightly. Let's have a little looky see. I think anyone that's I think anyone's going to come in now. So 3 seconds for Joe Lancer. And bear in mind that Binks just behind has got a 6 second penalty, and he's actually dropped down behind Jay Hartnell. Jay Hartnell making a move to Binks. What's happened to Binks? Oh, Binks is in the pits. So Binks is opting to change out some tyres and go racing for 3 laps here. How quickly can Binks get out? That's the question. Soft compound tyres for Binks. So here we go. Is there a massive charge on? Have they left it a little bit too late? I think so. I think if you're going in at this stage, it's just too late. As we see, Wasted with the pace coming through, and that is Binks, plumb last place, right at the back. But nada, zip, nothing. So let's see just how quick Binks is on some fresh red booties. Nobody else has got fresh tyres. Everybody else sticking this out for the duration. Let's work our way forward. We'll keep it on Binks actually. We'll work our way forward. There is Wasted, 3.9 seconds behind Jesper Bros, and that's 19.5. Very well that I just dropped. Sorry about that. Interrupted. Jesper running in 12th place, 19.5 seconds behind Komza in the AlphaTauri, and that is 9 tenths back from Super Calgon. Super Calgon with a 3 second penalty, so that actually is going to put them behind Komza, ahead of Jesper, assuming that that gap doesn't change dramatically in the next lap and a bit. Dusty Fate in 9th place, half a second back from Nat Packers, who couldn't capitalise on that blistering qualifying that put them in 4th place. Now down to 8th, and 1.9 seconds behind Jay Hartnell, who is right there. There is Jay Hartnell coming through, and they are 2.8 seconds. That's all, 2.8 seconds, 3 seconds back from Joe Lancer. Now, bearing in mind that Joe Lancer has a 3 second penalty. Gap is 3.2 right now. All Jay Hartnell needs to do is close that gap. Now, they will know they're carrying a penalty, potentially. They should do, I would have thought. And so all they need to really concentrate is think, okay, let's assume the worst, that it is just a 3 second penalty. What do I need to do? And that's what you need to do. You've got 1 lap in which to do it. JJ Lancer in 5th. Tom Go Prof. If Tom Go Prof doesn't get driver of the day, I'm going to kick myself in my big balls, who's running in 4th. 1.6, 1.5 seconds behind Mulikuli. Good race. And then, so that's Rose, Tony and Mulikuli. All brand new drivers, at least brand new as far as I can remember, running in the top 3. So real improvement to the quality here. Tony in second, of course, Rose desperately has made the move around Tony, but now has to hold off the charge. And that's a 3-second penalty for wasted. It's kind of wasted on wasted because they're already last. Well, they're not anymore. They've made the move around Jesper. So can they open up that? There is a 6-second penalty now. Open up that gap, or is it done? But Rose wins from Tony. That's a debut race win for Red Bull. Tony home in second. Mulikuli comes home in third place. Fourth place will be Big Balls. Tongo Prof, my driver of the day. Don't give a fuck what you say. What the computer says, bullshit. Tongo Prof is driver of the day because Tongo fast and Tongo deserve it. JJ Lancer, 6th place. Jay Hartnell comes home in 7th. Nat Packers disappointing in 8th place. Dusty Fakes in 9th. Komza in 10th. Super Calgon 11th. Binks in 12th. Wasted 13th. Jesper is in 14th. But, yeah, no, won't jump. Wasted with that penalty anyway. Shouldn't have thought. But there is your winner. Fastest lap of the race from Binks in 12th place. Absolutely turned it on for that last lap. Just trying to nick a point. Don't know what the rules are here, whether you get one outside the top 10. I wouldn't have thought so. Why would it be any different for you? But there is your driver of the day, Rose. He's driver of the day, so your winner, Rose. Brilliant performance from them. Always there or thereabouts. And there we go. Tongo Prof, driver of the day, and absolutely 100% agree with that. Because he was 20th after Tongo crash in Tongo qualifying. But then Tongo fast and Tongo in top 6. So brilliant finish. And what a race that was. And it's over. It's over. The race is over. And that's Rosie from Jamaica. And actually, we did see Rosie in the last race of the season, didn't we? I believe covering for somebody else. And that was some pretty darn good racing, if I remember rightly. It's just come to me now. But they are relatively new, so there we go. So, we saw quite a lot of action today. What did we see? So, we saw the reigning champion crashing out in the early stages of this race. Rapid F1. No points. Nil points on the board after race number 1. We saw the runner-up qualify in 4th, drop down to 8th place. That was Nat Packers. We saw the person go 3rd, Tongo Prof, the Dutchman, absolutely smashing it through the field after bidding the car in qualifying. But there is your final order. Rose from Jamaica in the Red Bull, from Tony from that's Finland, isn't it? Finland in the Alfa Romeo in 2nd. Ferrari of Mulikuli in 3rd. Big Balls, the top rated Brit in the Aston Martin in 4th place. Tongo Prof, the Dutchman in the McLaren in 5th. JJ Lancer from Great Britain in the AlphaTauri in 6th. 7th place was Jay Hartnell in the Alpine from Britain. Nat Packers from the United States of America in 8th place. Dusty Fake from Denmark in the Red Bull. Komza from Great Britain in the AlphaTauri in 10th. Super Calgon, who lives in the world, from Mercedes AMG Petronas in 11th place. Binks in 12th in the Alfa Romeo. Wasted in the McLaren from England. And then we've got Jesper Bros in 14th place in the Ferrari. Then from Cameron Poulter from the United Kingdom, Aston Martin 15th place, Nick X in 16th with Haas, and then we've got I'd say that from Cameron Poulter, we've got the do not finishes, Cameron Poulter, Nick X, Teddy Henke from the World, Rapid F1, big blow for him, Austin, and from Wales, Spillage from Wales. There we go, that is your entire running order today. So, great first race here at Imola. Really enjoyed that one. We've got 9 more races to go. And if that is the kind of quality we're expecting I am looking darn forward to it. So, where are we next week? I hear you cry. You did tell us. Yes, indeed, I did. We will be at the Hungaroring. No, there's only one sprint race this season, actually, and that is in China, or China, as it's more commonly known, in a few weeks' time. But all that's left for me to say is thank you very, very much for joining us this evening. I've been Urban Pirate. This has been Black Flag Racing TV. We have been smoking Pirellis. Season 5, round number 1 of the Thursday Tier 1. Congratulations to your winner, Rose of Jamaica in the Red Bull. Commiserations to last season's champion, who had an early bath. And driver of the day was Tom Go Prof. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow for some more F1 action. Laters, losers.